Well, hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Ark, and this is my lovely wife, Josie, your host for
Hi,
the Travel
everyone.
Advisors Unlimited podcast. We are joined this week by Miss Elisa
Hi.
and Alyssa from the West Coast.
Hi.
We're so glad everybody has joined us this evening for this wonderful live podcast, our second episode giving this a try. And everybody, just bear with us because we're new to this, so we're doing the best that we can do. But this evening, we're coming to talk to you about Disneyland versus Disney World, a very hot topic. For just a quick round of introductions on kind of everybody's experience. Both Josie and I have been to Land and World. Land most recently September of last year. Josie's gone twice. I've gone 3 times in my life. Avid Disney World visitors because we live in Pensacola, so we go down as often as we can. Elisa previously worked at Disney World and lives in Orlando, so is at Disney World all the time and loves to throw Disney facts in my face all the time. So she's good at that. And then Elisa actually lives in the Disneyland area, so she's got the West Coast down. So we've got a great perspective from both sides, and we're going to kind of talk through just some general differences between the two parks. And then we'll go into exploring some sample pricing from both. Please just be aware that any pricing that we discuss today can change at any moment in time just due to availability and so on. So, and as well, all of the lovely ladies here are travel advisors. So if you would like to book any travel, whether it be Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or any other products that we can help get you on an amazing vacation, these ladies can help you out, and their email addresses will be below their names throughout the podcast. So first of all, I guess let's talk about a little bit of the history side of things. So Disneyland, of course, built by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Walter Elias Disney, who we know and love. I don't know if you guys, well, of course, Lisa, you haven't gone yet. Gosh. But I know anytime that we go to land, there's just this emotional thing for us because I'm just a huge Walt Disney fan himself. The man just was amazing.
Yes.
Gosh knows where we would be today if he was still alive. But Alyssa, I don't know about you, but there's some sort of emotional connection you feel walking down that original Main Street.
For sure. 1000%. Like there's just little details like the light that's above the fire station, and it's like it just is so like nostalgic to be there and to be like this is where it all started. So yeah.
Absolutely. And that's another thing, and kind of as we continue through the conversation, taking one of the tours, we did a walk in Walt's footsteps the first time that Josie went out there and got to actually visit Walt's apartment. Gosh, the tears were flowing.
Awesome.
Oh, it was phenomenal.
Just because it's just, Walt was such a visionary, and
He
just
really was.
had such a passion for what he did. It's hard not to have that connection. And I'm one of those crazy guys that every time I hear a Walt quote play, I just tear up. I can't help it every single time. But and then of course, Disney World unfortunately didn't get finished before Walt passed away. So his brother Roy built most of the Walt Disney World park as we know it today. And of course, there's always the castle comparison.
We win.
We win the castle comparison.
Sure.
But
I mean, we could walk through our castle.
This is true.
Sometimes on the right day, you can walk through our castle. I have walked through it before.
And just kind of diving into some of the other differences as well, the rides in Disneyland tend to be a lot longer. For example, there are multiple
amazing.
drops on Pirates of the Caribbean. I didn't tell her about that the first time that she
Kind of freaked me out the first time.
We only have one drop in our Pirates. Pirates out there is amazing. I could sit there and ride that all day long.
It's like 12, 15 minutes long. I mean, it's
It's a good amount.
so amazing. It's my favorite one out there.
And then some of the other ride differences, Haunted Mansion, the stretching room is actually an elevator. Oh my gosh. Now, unfortunately, I say unfortunately, every time that we've been out there has been during the Halloween season. So it's had the Nightmare Before Christmas.
The overlay, yeah.
Amazing. And I'm not a huge
phenomenal.
Nightmare Before Christmas fan, but the overlay is really cool. We've got to get out there at some point when the overlay is not there so we can see
I'm
the
ready.
actual original Haunted Mansion.
Let's go.
Come on over.
It's amazing. If
We'll
you
take
are
Elisa, though.
If you are a Disney World fan and have not gone to Disneyland, you are missing out. It's you at least need to do
Absolutely.
it once in your life. What are some of the other differences that you guys would say between the two parks?
Size. The size of the
Oh,
park
for sure.
and the amount of parks.
Yep. So we got two parks in Disneyland. You've got the they still call it Magic Kingdom Park, is that's out there for where the castle is in Disneyland, and then you have California Adventure, which I feel very reminiscent of Hollywood Studios for those that have been to the Orlando parks, and they're right across the Esplanade from each other, so you can quickly park hop between the two because they're literally right across from each other. And speaking of coming into the parks there, you've got the downtown Disney district, which is a part basically of the entrance to the parks there, versus in Florida, our shopping district is Disney Springs, which is a gorgeous area for anyone that hasn't been to it for shopping and dining.
Very pretty.
If I lived down there, I would probably hang out there on the weekends just because there's live music down there all the time. There's always something going on, just a really chill vibe in Disney Springs. But Florida-wise, we have 4 parks. Elisa, you want to go over our 4 parks?
So we have Animal Kingdom, which is very unique and nothing you'll find those things at Disneyland.
For sure.
Just felt like Disneyland was getting all the love, so I just needed to give a little bit of love to Disney World.
I'm back home.
So Animal Kingdom, that has the safari that you literally can fit Magic Kingdom inside of just the attraction of the safari at Animal Kingdom. Then you've got Hollywood.
Lisa used to work.
Yeah, he used to work that one. He used to drive those trucks. They trusted me. And then there's Hollywood Studios, and that's got the Star Wars land in it, just like Disneyland has. And then you have Epcot, which is great for an evening out eating around the world with the nice breeze that comes off the lake. That is my favorite thing to do on a weekend. And then there is the Magic Kingdom. That is all that is. That's the magic park, in my opinion. That's the park that has the magic.
No explanation needed there.
No.
It is all
That's the
magic.
park with the magic.
Yeah, and if when we go down there, if we're gonna just hit one park on a weekend, it's usually Magic Kingdom for us.
Yep,
We'll
sure.
stay at like Wilderness Lodge, take the boat over, or something along those lines. But yeah, Magic Kingdom. If it's a one nighter, it's a Magic Kingdom for me for sure.
Hands down.
Let's talk about nighttime entertainment wise. So for our parks, we have my favorite of all time, Happily Ever After at Magic Kingdom. Love. I could sit there and watch it every night if I
And
could.
cry every time.
I cried every time when they got rid of it.
Rude.
Yeah, obviously. And then we have at Epcot now, Elisa, the new one is Epcot Forever, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm going to be honest, I'm not a firework person. I just know when they are so that I can ride the rides, while all of you suckers who like that magic fireworks, because I've seen them so many times, that's my time to get on the rides.
Yeah, that is a
with
great
no
time. That's a tip,
lines.
Dan, for
And
sure.
you get some firework views sometimes. So
Mhm.
I'm going to be honest, I'm not super up to date with their names because I've just seen the fireworks so many times that I take it as my advantage to get short lines.
Yep.
Same.
And then throughout the year, there are various nighttime events. Sometimes there's fireworks over at Hollywood Studios. The Tree of Life at night over at Animal Kingdom generally will have some sort of projection show on it. Nighttime outside over on the California side at California Adventure is
World of Color.
World of Color, which will also make you cry if you're a Disney fan at all.
Yes.
One tip for that,
1000%.
one tip for that, and Alyssa, I don't know if you've done this yet or not, the dessert party for World of Color is
Yes.
amazing.
Yes. We did we did that. We did a momcation, and that was the first time that I did the dessert party, and I loved it. I love that part. Yeah.
Absolutely the way to watch that. You've got
Yes.
reserved seating. They bring you this awesome little tray of desserts. I could have eaten several trays. And soft drinks and
Though Disney World, I've never had a bad one there. Although the ones that I've gone have all gone away. Like Star Wars weekend had a dessert party. It was amazing. There was a dessert party for Osborne Lights. Like that's traumatic for me that it's gone. That was an amazing dessert party. So I feel like Disney knows how to do a dessert party with their nighttime events. Like if that's in your budget, it is a must do.
And those are things that we can assist you booking as well. When you book your vacation with us, that's something that we can include in your package. But highly recommend one of those, especially for the fireworks viewings. They do have that for Happily Ever After at Magic Kingdom in Florida. That there is a pre-dessert party, during, and after dessert party. You got 3 different choices. Another cool thing, since the Florida parks are on the water, we can also offer boat cruises for the fireworks. You can actually take a pontoon boat that they charter, that you can charter, with desserts and other things on it as well, and actually watch the fireworks from Bay Lake or Seven Seas Lagoon. So those are available options, and a really cool way to celebrate a special occasion.
Crowd not included.
Crowd not included. Music still piped through, though, so you still hear the music, which is magical. And again, they're proximity wise, for resorts, and we haven't got into resorts yet. I know we'll dive into that in just a moment. The resorts that are around there on the Bay Lake side, for example, the Contemporary, Polynesian, Grand Floridian, Wilderness Lodge, as well as the Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground, all have areas where the music is piped through from the fireworks shows at Magic Kingdom. So you do miss out on the projections that are on the castle. However, minus the crowds, as Lisa said, you can still get the music and see the fireworks from those resorts. That's a really cool way to end your night. If you went to another park that day, you still want to see the fireworks in Magic Kingdom, you can hang out on one of the beach areas there and watch the fireworks. So that's really cool. Elisa, why don't you run us down some of the numbers on the hotels, east and west side, as then also the attraction counts between the 2 parks.
Yeah, 1 second, because it timed me out, of course.
Well, that happens. We'll fill the air.
Okay, I'm pulling it back up.
No worries. But if you have it in your budget, any of those special things like the dessert parties we talked about, the boat fireworks tours, there are other tours that they do in the Magic Kingdom. I believe they have now brought back the train tour that they do to give you a tour of the trains and how they work. There are numerous tours, and there's also what has become very popular. Genie Plus, as many of you are probably aware, is the kind of the new version-ish of what was Fast Pass, except you now have to pay for it. But you can do a VIP tour where you can actually reserve a VIP host, and they will take you around all of the attractions that you want to go to. So that is an option that we can help you with as well. I have not personally done one yet, but it's probably in my near future because I have heard they are amazing. The host will go get you Mickey bars while you're on a ride. I mean,
Who doesn't love Mickey
who
bars?
doesn't love Mickey bars? Exactly. So those are amazing options to do too.
So I pulled just some prices for Disney World. I did a value and I did pop, which is like middle of the road. There's All Stars, which are slightly cheaper, and there's Art of Animation, which is a little bit more if you do a standard room.
Well, let's talk count of resorts and
count of resorts
first. Yeah, let's talk that first, and then we'll get into the pricing.
Gotcha, because most people probably might not know what value is either.
Yep.
So let me step back my Disney craziness. So there's 3 tiers of resorts at Disney World. There is value, which is going to be like your basic hotel. You're going to have 2 queen beds, a bathroom, and a door and some AC. It's very magical rooms, but it's a basic room. There's nothing crazy about it. There is a room, and the doors are outside. So they're not inside of a hallway, they're outside, and so that's usually how you can also tell a value.
But they do tend to be very Disney themed, though.
They are value is the most Disney themed of all of the resorts. The other ones are a little more sophisticated Disney, and they're just like subtle touches. And the over-the-top theming would be Art of Animation. So with value, there are 5 of them. There are 3 All-Stars, 1 Pop Century, and 1 Art of Animation. And then moderate is going to be your little bit of a step up. These rooms are slightly bigger. They have nicer amenities. They're resorts themselves. Some of them have full-service restaurants at them. They are just your more elevated, but they are not over-the-top Disney themed, but they have more special things at their resort. more upscale things. And then there's the deluxe, and those come with extra evening magic hours that are only for deluxe. It used to be for all resort, but after COVID, they changed things, and now it's only deluxe to one place on certain days of the week. For a couple hours, it's only deluxe guests, so it's very empty. Also at a deluxe resort, you're going to get even nicer rooms. They're going to be all the doors are from the inside hallways. They're not outside. Your rooms are much bigger, and you're closer to things. So like there's the Magic Kingdom area that all have the monorail connecting them. There's ones that are in between Epcot and Hollywood Studios. You can walk to them. You have a boat. So there's a lot of perks that come with the deluxe, but so does the price tag. So there are, I'm sorry, what I started with, how many there were of each. So 5 value, so sorry, 4 moderate, and 11 deluxe resorts. So the pricing for each one, it goes up from $3,000 at the lower time in like September for a value. And that would be a week. And it would include your tickets, a 4-day park hopper, and in the more peak times like summer or Christmas, it can go to about $4,800, including family of 4 with your hotel and your park tickets for everyone. So that's going to be your price point for a value resort. Am I supposed to go more detailed than
Sure,
that?
go with it. You're good. You're on a roll.
Okay, just making sure. Sometimes I get a little excited and ahead of myself. So then there's moderate, and I chose the Caribbean Beach to price this at because it has access to the Skyliner. It's a middle of the road moderate in price. There's some that's a little bit cheaper. There's some that's a little bit more. But the Caribbean Beach, I think, has the most perks, especially as a family, because you have that Skyliner there on top of the bus transportation to get to parks.
What is the Skyliner?
Oh, the Skyliner is a gondola, I guess would be the best place to describe it. And it takes you in between Hollywood Studios. It takes you to Art of Animation, Pop Century, Caribbean Beach, Riviera. And then it also takes you over to Epcot and the Epcot ones that are right there, which is Yacht Club, Beach Club, and Boardwalk. So it connects a whole bunch of hotels, but it gives you easy access to Hollywood Studios and Epcot. And unlike all the other forms of transportation, if you have a stroller, you do not have to fold it on the Skyliner. So if you have a stroller and you're looking at the hotels, look for one that is on the Skyliner because it will save you so much of not having to fold up and refold when you stuff all that stuff in the stroller because there is no light packing when you have a stroller. You have to take out the million bags. So Skyliner is amazing, especially when you have a stroller. It's amazing otherwise, but with a stroller, it's next level amazing. So with the Caribbean Beach, at the lower times like September, you're going to be looking at about $4,500 for a family of 4 with 4-day park hopper tickets. And going up to, in their peak times like Christmas or spring break, going to about $5,400 for 4 people again. All of these are going to be 4 people, 2 adults, 2 kids, and park hoppers for 2 adults, 2 kids for 4 days. So I won't keep saying that and making you guys go crazy. And then there's the deluxe resorts, and these come with a higher price tag, but they come with a lot more perks. They are a lot closer to one of the
4 theme parks.
One of the parks, and they come with those extra evening hours. All the parks have morning hours of 30 minutes, but the deluxe give you extra evening hours. That is very limited of who's in there because it's only the deluxe resort guest. So at their low time of like September, you're going to get about $5,000 for a family of 4. And going up to in the peak time of like Christmas or spring break, you're going to be looking at $5,600-ish for a deluxe. And I did Animal Kingdom Lodge for that one. That is one of the cheaper ones, but I think it's one of the most unique experiences because it's like you're taken out to Africa and you are out on a safari house. I stayed at one of the Savannah View rooms, and it's just like there is a giraffe outside my window, quite literally. And even if you don't get a Savannah View room, there's tons of space there that you can go look out windows. There's an area out there to go out more among the animals. They have lots of events and feedings, and you can even do a safari out there that you can pay for. So I definitely, that's my favorite deluxe.
Yeah, and for those that may not be into the safari side or those that are more in the wilderness side, the designer of Wilderness Lodge also designed Animal Kingdom Lodge, so they have a very similar feel. So if you don't like one or the other, they're a good alternative for each other.
Yes, and then Wilderness Lodge, you're going to get that boat over to Magic Kingdom, which is an amazing way to get to Magic Kingdom. And then I just did one more price grab, and it's not an official Disney hotel, but it's the Dolphin, and it is in between Epcot and Hollywood Studios. You could walk to either, you could take a boat to either. It's a really good location, and it also gets those deluxe resort perks while not being an official Disney hotel. And it comes in a little bit cheaper. You can get that one with the 4-day park hopper for a family of 4, starting at like around $5,100 to at their peak times going up to about $5,700. So you can save a little bit of money, still get those perks. It's not going to be quite the same room level, and it's not going to have the Disney touches to it, but it's going to come with all those perks and save you a little bit of money if the perks weigh out more the Disney magic of the room.
Yeah, and it's important to note too that throughout the year, at both locations, but World especially, there are numerous specials that are offered.
Yes.
And one of the things that our team can do, even if you book ahead of time before the specials are released, they can rebook you once a special has been released. There's, of course, Florida resident rates, are pretty prevalent throughout the year. Annual pass holders, free dining, with Chase Visa and other things like that. There are numerous offers that come out throughout the year. So even if an offer wasn't available when you first made your booking through us, you can still get that offer applied at a later time as long as the availability is there. So that's really cool.
And none of these have any offer applied to them so that like this would be like what it is. And then hopefully, obviously, we would find an offer to add to it. But I felt like it would be more transparent not putting any offer on it because I know someone may not be a Florida resident or may not be a Visa card holder or whatever the
Disney Plus subscriber, whatever it may be that. Yeah, and when the team books, they have the ability to see all of the available offers that are out there and pick the best one that gets you the most bang for your buck on that. Let's talk while we're still on World real quick. Favorite resorts, Elisa. What is your all time of whether it be moderate value, deluxe? What's your favorite all time?
My favorite right now, because it does change. I get favorites, but right now is probably Animal Kingdom Lodge. Just because my daughter loves the splash pad that they have over there in the Kandani Village, along with just that it has the safaris. It has plenty of things that I can do at the hotel and, still go to the parks. But, with a 2-year-old and an 8-month-old, park open to close isn't exactly what we do these days. So having some really nice water areas that Animal Kingdom Lodge has, I'm a huge fan. They have one of the best splash pads, I think, on property.
Well, and that's, we didn't mention this yet, but that is one of the huge benefits of staying on Disney property in that Disney bubble is that you have the Disney transportation available to you, whether it's one of the resorts that you can use a boat, the bus system available at all the resorts, the Skyliner or the monorail-based resorts. When you're staying on property, man, it makes it so much nicer to be able to take that mid-afternoon break, go back to the resort real quick, not have to get in your car and drive back and all that. You're in the Disney bubble. Take the Disney transportation and just relax while you're on your trip.
And if you go in July, please don't do park open to park close and kill yourself before the evening. Go home in the hottest part, or not home, to your hotel. Go home to that hotel because they say welcome home when you get there.
Absolutely.
Go back to your resort, take a little nap, and then when all the other fools who stayed at Disney all day and they're all maxed out and they have to leave when the sun goes down, it starts getting cooler. You're just hitting your stride and all the lines are lowering for you. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Alyssa,
stay all day in the summer.
Do you have a favorite one at World?
So when we went, we stayed at Animal Kingdom, yeah, I loved it. And so we went for my 30th birthday. We took my parents, and my dad still talks about it, like to this day, that he only wants to stay. If we go again, he only wants to stay there. And
that's awesome.
I really, really liked it.
And that's one we haven't stayed at, so it sounds like we've got.
Oh, really?
No, we haven't yet. We haven't even been over there. I'm ashamed, but
we have a goal of staying at every resort, at least once. But that's one that we have not been to.
So, what's your favorite?
I have 2. Technically, maybe 3.
No, that's cheating.
I know. I love them all. We adore camping, so we love staying at Fort Wilderness with our camper.
Which the new DVC cabins are coming, being put in right now.
It is amazing. We can talk about that a little bit more, but
That's another
it is
episode.
really phenomenal. I really love the tower at Coronado Springs. It is beautiful.
And-
It is Disney touches, but they are sophisticated.
Subtle.
But it is gorgeous. And
we'd like to say that that is a deluxe resort for a moderate
Yes.
price. So if you're looking for some elevated luxury but don't want to pay the deluxe price, the tower at Coronado Springs is amazing. And a good portion of their standard rooms actually have views of both Epcot and Hollywood Studios. We have lucked out. I think we've stayed there 3 times now.
yes.
All 3 times that we've stayed there, we had a room where we could see Hollywood Studios. You could see Batuu, Star Wars Land, as well as see Epcot out your window. And then at the end of the hallways, you can go down and see Magic Kingdom. They also have a rooftop bar and restaurant that has an amazing deck out there that you can go out and view Epcot and Hollywood Studios from too.
So the fireworks, I mean, it's just nonstop fireworks because you get all of the views. And so that's really amazing. But it's just a really pretty resort. But the fireworks perk is, I mean, top tier for me. I also really love Wilderness Lodge. It is probably my go-to resort as far as what feels always like home. I just love it. It's the smell, everything about it is amazing. I love it. Everything. I want them all.
Well, I always have to go to Wilderness Lodge is my favorite. That was my mom's favorite. Anytime I took her down there, we would always stay at Wilderness Lodge, and many fond memories there. Whispering Canyon Cafe is an amazing place for breakfast, as long as you have a personality that likes some extra fun. That's the one.
Sarcasm.
Sarcasm, yes. Heavy sarcasm there. That's the one that if you need ketchup, they rouse the whole restaurant.
Yes.
We need ketchup.
My dad once threw a fork there off another table because my friend dropped their fork, and they made him go to the front of the restaurant and do the hokey pokey, and then also said like tie him up, and because he was a thief or whatever, but his
goodness.
punishment was to go do the hokey pokey.
Nice.
I love it.
But they have there as well. They have an actual geyser that goes off once an hour, which is pretty cool, right down there by Bay Lake. They have boat service to Magic Kingdom. They also recently, if you didn't know, returned the boat service that goes between the resorts on Bay Lake. That had been missing since COVID, and now you can take a boat between the Wilderness Lodge, Fort Wilderness Campground, and the Contemporary. They now have that circle boat tour again, which is another nice thing to do on the evening if you just want to chill out. And Wilderness Lodge also has my favorite place to just chill by Bay Lake, which is Geyser Point Bar and Restaurant. They have some amazing
Yes.
chips and barbecue and just amazing service. That's always one of our favorite places to chill out. I guess let's jump over to the West Coast. So let's talk, Alyssa, about the hotels on the West Coast.
Well, talking about size, obviously our side is a lot smaller, so we only have 3 on-property hotels. And we don't necessarily have like the value, but if we were doing value, it was recently Paradise Pier, but now they rethemed it and it is Pixar Place. And I have yet to stay there, but the theming is on point. Like they have the Pixar ball, they have drawings, they just the epitome of Pixar in there. So that's probably the most affordable between the 3 of them, depending. Yeah, so there's that one, and that's across the street, and that's the furthest. But being on property, you can walk everywhere if you're staying in the Disney bubble. So then also we have Disneyland Hotel. I feel like that is the most magical as far as theming. You turn on a little switch and they have fireworks on the headboard, and it's just beautiful, and the carpet are stars and fireworks. It's just beautiful. Like, you have to stay there.
Agreed.
Yeah,
And then
that's where we stayed. Sorry to interrupt. That's where
mhm.
we stayed last September with some friends of ours. Was Disneyland Hotel, and
Oh,
they even
so
had
magical.
for our Fort Wilderness friends, they had the topiary of Musket Mickey was out there, so some nods to Fort Wilderness and stuff like that. It was really cool.
That's awesome. But they're just like little touches, like the lamp is a Mickey hand, and just little things, like the sink has like a Mickey, it's like a Mickey knob. So just little tiny things that it's just magical. So as far as the theming, that's all of them are awesome. And we recently just stayed at Grand Californian. Um, so Grand Californian, you could walk out straight into California Adventure. So they do have two entrances into the parks. And that is more of a like wilderness feel. And that is, I guess, would be compared to like a deluxe. But I fell in love because of you literally just walk into the walk into the park. And it does have like little like chipmunks themes, more like wilderness, and just the little touches I loved. So those are our three on property hotels. I don't have my pricing with me because I wasn't planning on doing it on my phone. If one of you guys have it,
Lisa, can you pull it up on your side if you wouldn't mind?
please.
And
Yeah,
then
so
the other out there, Good Neighbor hotels are a big thing.
yes, because also we have Good Neighbor hotels, but it's right across the street. The one that we recently stayed at, it's a 5-minute walk to the Esplanade. So everything is kind of in the Disney bubble and very close. But staying on property, we don't have the evening hours, but we do have the morning hours. The 30 minutes extra if you stay on property. Going back to World of Color at Grand Californian, they have a deck that you could see just for people that are staying there, that you're able to see World of Color. And it's a whole different experience to
man,
see it
we're gonna stay there.
above. And yeah, so that, and a lot of people don't know about it. So they have, it's like a deck. They have heaters out there. They do have speakers, and it's a whole different experience to experience that. And then at Pixar Place, they also have a deck where you could see the fireworks.
Okay.
So
Nice.
yeah, so there's a lot of little perks that staying on property.
Nice. Elisa, you're muted somehow.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Hello?
Oh, there we go.
Okay, there you go.
No, I muted myself because there was some baby crying in the background earlier, and I didn't want it to bleed in.
It's a tough crowd tonight, right?
So I pulled up the pricing. So Disneyland doesn't go out past December right now. They don't book out nearly as far in advance as Disney World can. But the pricing for Pixar Place in September is about $5,300 versus December, where it's a little more popular, closer to Christmas time. You're looking at $5,800. So not a huge difference between times, and that's for 4 kids with 4-day park hopper as well. Oh, not 4 kids, 2 adults.
Yeah, I was like, wait, 2 adults,
4
2 kids. Yeah.
No adults coming. This is a child only. You just drop them off and go.
Oh Lord. Some people would probably really like that.
Probably.
They're like, that's a veil. Wait, we could do that?
No, you cannot. I did not condone it. Then there's the Disneyland Hotel, the slight step up. You're going to see that starting at about $6,100 to going up to about $6,600, depending on whether you're going their low season September or the higher season in December. And then the Grand Floridian with that private deck. That's where I'm staying when I finally get
California.
Grand Californian, sorry. I'm excited about that deck. I'm really excited about that deck. Because I don't like crowds, so that's my problem with fireworks.
Oh, it's awesome.
I have my own deck. Okay, we might get on board for this. So that one starts out at $7,400 and it goes up to about $8,100, based on the time.
Very good. And then, again, for the more affordable options, there's Good Neighbor hotels, which do include some of the same perks that the others do. We can book the tickets with those packages just as we can with the on-property hotels. And it's important to note for either, whether you're in Disney World or Disneyland side, you can book those as a package to include the tickets, the prices that we've mentioned, included tickets for that 7 day, 6 night with 4 adults. Now I'm doing 4 adults, 2 adults, 2 kids, and then 4-day park hopper tickets. So with those, we can put a deposit down so you can actually pay on that over time. You don't have to pay that all in full at one point. So that's another great option to kind of pay on your vacation as you go. So that's some of your hotel options. Let's talk about dining. What are some of our favorite dining options at both? Alyssa, you want to start us off on this one?
Dining. I really like Blue Bayou. I think the experience, so it's a restaurant inside of the Pirates of the Caribbean, and it's just, I love it. They have the little
Amazing.
crickets. Yeah, it's a little bit more upscale. But I do. So that would be, I think, Disneyland. Um, and California Adventure. I really like Lamplight Lounge. I don't know if you guys tried that
We
one.
have. I've heard of it many times. Haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, so it's a Pixar themed. So they have drawings. In there, they have a wall of Pixar balls. But it's right on the It's right on the water. So you're able to see the Incredicoaster, and it's beautiful. So it's a lounge. So they have a lot of nice themed drinks. So I think those have to be my 2 favorites.
Well, and let's not forget too, at the entrance to Pixar Pier, the little lamp actually moves. So if you stand there
Yes.
long enough, he actually moves, which
He's
is so
precious.
cool. And then Blue Bayou, yes, we love that. We have lucked up both times. Well, the first time we went, I had a reservation ahead of time. We got a table by the water. The last time we went, I wasn't able to get a reservation ahead of time. Was sitting there trying to find something, and a reservation popped up. And so we grabbed
my
it out of
gosh.
the app, and again got a table by the water, getting to watch the boats
Yes.
go by. The
So
You're
magical.
like waving to people riding. It's so cool.
Oh, I love it.
and then our favorite sandwich,
The Monte Cristo.
The Monte Cristo.
the Monte Cristo.
Phenomenal.
Now
You
I will
can't go
admit,
wrong.
the first time we went, it was not as good. The second time we went, it was amazing. So
But the first time we went, it did make it better when they had the Haunted Mansion themed paper underneath
right,
it.
that's
So
right.
that counted for greatness, in my opinion. And just the ambiance of it all. So no marks against it.
yeah, for sure. Elisa, what about in Florida? What's your favorite restaurant on property or in a park?
I'm still in mourning for my favorite restaurant not coming back to its full glory after COVID, because I loved Cape May with unlimited crab legs, and I'm not on board for paying for my crab legs when I used to eat, like, I probably put them out of business, and that's why they had to switch to paying for crab legs. It was me. I'm sorry.
It was my fault.
But probably my next new favorite would probably be Boma. I really like Boma. I like the Polynesian to start with, so I love the theming in the restaurant. If you go in the evening and you go later, you can also get the firework view, and they pump in the music. And I like the family style dining, that it comes to your table kind of thing. So Boma's probably my favorite right now. Although honestly, I really love France. In the very back has like a quick service spot, but
Yeah.
it's got a whole bunch of different pastries and sandwiches. And there's a ham and cheese croissant that they don't charge enough for. It is amazing.
It's really good.
And they toast it. Don't let them not toast it. If they ask if you want to toast it or not, you have to toast it. And then it's life-changing.
Well, I would count that as an Epcot tip too. I have all the years that I went to Epcot, I was horrible about not actually going up into the countries. We would just walk around, a little
Oh,
bit.
really?
It was just last year that we, for the first time, experienced that little cafe there in France. And I will also debunk the TikTok myth. So they were for a long time, and it's still going on. They were talking about the ice cream shop there. I can't remember the name of it, in that same little alcove there in France, where you could do the brioche bun that had ice cream in the middle of it. And it was this huge thing on TikTok for a while, and we tried it. And the ice cream was really good, but it was like eating a hamburger bun around ice cream.
I'll tell you what, though. We have a friend who goes with us, and every time he must get that. He loves it.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
It's
He-
not
Well-
bad. I mean, it is carb overload, but I mean, that's
I mean,
not
I
really
don't
a
like
bad
it,
thing.
but I do know someone who, for real, in real life, he's not an influencer. he just absolutely loves it.
Well, there you go. But yeah, definitely take time. That's a Epcot tip. Take time to actually walk around fully in
There's so
Epcot.
many little great areas in each
When
area. I love it.
when we went, we ate at Teponito, and that's my favorite. I like dream of that, and
Aw.
yeah, I loved it. I loved that restaurant.
Josie, what's yours?
Okay, you answer first.
Oh, I have to answer first.
Yes.
Gosh. I probably have two for sure. I love Whispering Canyon, although in the last couple of years they've
Same.
changed their sausage, and it's not as much my favorite as it used to be. But the service is always really good, even though it's sarcastic. The service is always
love
really
that,
good
though.
at Whispering Canyon. And then I'm also a huge Jungle Skipper Canteen fan at Magic Kingdom. Is another one of our favorites. It's and that's one of the things I'm looking forward to on the Disney Treasure in the future is the Jungle Cruise themed Skipper bar that is on the Treasure. But I just love that same sarcasm. We're very sarcastic, as you can tell. And then obviously a huge nod to Katie's Corner for the corn dog nuggets. You have to have the corn dog nuggets with the bag cheese. I mean, who can go wrong with that?
It's my turn. So my favorite is probably Whispering Canyon. For all the reasons mentioned, sarcasm is fantastic. I also just love their breakfast and their lunch and dinner. It's really good. Love it. In the parks, my favorite is Liberty Tree.
Oh gosh, yeah, I should have said Liberty Tree.
I was waiting. It is very much. I feel like it's Thanksgiving all year round. And although that might not sound great in July on a hot summer day, it is amazing.
The dessert is always amazing too at Liberty Tree. Oh my God.
But like everything, they have the best salad dressing ever.
And it
And
is family style, so it isn't all
yes.
you can eat. So if you have one of the desserts and you want another one, they will bring you another one.
Or salad if you want to be healthy. I mean, they're not judging you.
It is a little bit more on the pricey side, but also fun fact: if you get there early, I actually had this happen to us once. You can be the bell ringer to actually open up the restaurant. You get to go out there and ring the
Oh.
bell and hear
So
ye,
he,
hear ye. So I have a little pin that says
yeah,
Freedom Ringer. That's a fun
it
little
was
fact from
cute.
that. But all right, moving on. Tips and tricks to round out the show here. We'll just go around the table and just give us just a couple, if you have two or just one, whatever you've got, of just a tip for the first timer at a park or just even a seasoned veteran, something that you would throw out as just one of your top tips. And we'll start with Elisa this time.
I'm going to start with my kid toting tip. If you have a stroller, you get a stroller fan for your kid, but don't forget about yourself. Get yourself a fan. And then you don't even have to carry, you just link it onto the stroller thing while you're pushing, and then, then you want to push the stroller. It's all about let me have the turn with the stroller because it has the fan.
Good job.
Um, my other tip is to bring or get a fuel rod that Disney has because they have lots of spots that you can, it's a battery pack, but it's like a little tiny one, and you can turn it in at lots of different locations around the park, and you can get a brand new one fully charged to keep your phone charged. Because if you are doing the Genie Plus, the Disney app just kills your battery because it tracks your location to help you find directions places. So it kills your battery, so you need a battery pack, and it's really nice not to have to bring your own brick and worry about it, just having the small little fuel rod. It doesn't cost you to swap them out at Disney World. It's a free swap out. Fuel rods other places will charge you for each swap out, but not at Disney World.
Does it include a cable with it? We've never done it.
The first time you buy it, it comes with a cable, but when you swap it out, it does not.
Okay, very cool.
But when you first buy it, it comes with both adapters for you.
Very cool. All right,
They do that at Disneyland also, the fuel rod. My tips. I feel like when it's your first time going, or even if you've been, Animation Academy in California Adventure, a lot of people skip over. So if you go inside, you can draw characters, you could talk to Crush, and it's an interactive Crush from Finding Nemo.
nice.
It's interactive with that's hilarious show, Crush. And so you walk in and they have it's animation. So from all the movies, they have the drawings from the beginning stage up until the end stage of what you see on the movie, and they have the music playing, and I feel it's like a good place to just, if it's hot, to go relax or just take in the vibes there. And I feel like a lot of people skip over that. Um, so that's definitely a tip. And also, as far as like bringing strollers, what we like to do for night is get like glow sticks. So there's tons and tons of strollers. So to identify yours, put glow sticks. It glows. It's easier. So that's one of my tips for that. And also mobile order. Mobile
Yeah.
order.
Oh my God.
A lot of people skip over that. It's convenient, so you can do it throughout the day. So what I'll do, when I get there, kind of check out the times, because there is some that are like 3 hours or the popular ones. So it's easy with a toddler. I have a toddler, to just mobile order real quick, go pick it up, and not have to wait in another line, because there's tons of lines already. So definitely take advantage of mobile ordering and the Disneyland app, because you can, instead of looking at a map, you could look it on your phone, and you could filter it from, you want to look at characters, attractions, anything. It's a very useful thing. And also parking, because they do that with parking. So when you go to the parking structure, it says like, remember your thing. So it'll say Goofy, I'm in 5F or whatever it is. So then you can remember where you parked.
Yeah, I feel the app is a must-have in both places at this point in time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like to the rod tip, you
1000%. Yeah.
really have to have the app. An important thing to know about the mobile order as well, if you do have any discounts, such as a pass holder discount, or if there's a Chase Visa discount going on at the time, it will apply those as long as you've got those accounts linked. You can still get the discounts by doing mobile order that way. Same thing with the mobile checkout. In some of the stores, they do have that available. You can scan your own stuff in the store and do a mobile checkout, and that same applies there too. So that's really cool. Josie?
Mine also applies to the app. I would say download it early. Make sure that you are looking at it, especially if you are a first-time guest, just to really familiarize yourself with the app. Because, like Elisa said, once you get in the parks, your battery is going to start draining fast, and you really do want to make sure that you are not wasting time while you are there trying to figure out how to navigate it. That would be probably one of my top tips. Hydrate. Stay hydrated. Go to any of the places and ask for an ice water.
Free.
It's free. Stay hydrated all day, every day. Use sunscreen, especially if you're in Florida. When we were in California for last September, it was quite chilly to me. I had to buy a jacket, but in Florida, it was definitely, burning hot. So definitely stay with some sunscreen, hats, sunglasses, all those kinds of things. Remember that this is a vacation. And if you are bringing children, please remember that they are used to a certain schedule. So pushing them through nap time is probably, it can work maybe day 1, day 2, but it's going to catch up to them and they're going to be cranky. When they get cranky, you might be cranky. So just have grace, have lots of grace. So those would probably be my top things. Have fun.
Yeah, and my biggest one, even for us avid visitors, and I try to do this, slow down and enjoy the parks. Folks will rush in, they'll head to their first ride, and then it's off to the second ride, it's off to the third ride. There are so many amazing details in both locations. Slow down, take time to read the signs on the storefronts on Main Street. If you've never done it, those vintage cars and buses that they have that drive down Main Street, you can ride that. It's free. All you have to do is walk up there and hop on. That's a great way to see Main Street, especially the double-decker bus. One of my favorite things to do. We recently, I guess within the last 3 years, did that for the first time. Because I never asked, I just never knew. But take advantage of those small details. There are things like the The phone there, I believe there's a phone inside the what's the main store? My mind's just gone
The
blank.
Emporium?
The Emporium. That if you pick it up, there's a character on the other end. There's all sorts of small, tiny details. Take time to relax and enjoy and just take in those small details. Did you know that you can get a haircut at the Main Street Barbershop? Things like that. It's an amazing place. Many people get their kids' first haircuts there. They have a little certificate for that. Slow down, take time to listen to the Dapper Dan sing on Main Street. All those
All
little
your
things
hidden
that are,
Mickeys, too.
find all your hidden Mickey. They have books available to find those things. But my biggest overall tip would just be slow down and enjoy it. Don't treat it as just a theme park with rides. It is so much, whether it's California or whether it's Florida or any of the parks around the world, it is so much more than just a ride park. There are so many tiny details. Even as you're standing there in the ride queue, don't stare at your phone the whole time. Look around. The Imagineers put so much work into those rides and those queues and the whole parks. Just slow down and take it in. Anyone, any last thoughts on anything? Anything you'd like to share before we wrap it up?
I feel like nobody told me how humid it was in Disney World. I was done. So I feel like definitely be conscious of the weather, and Disneyland is the exact opposite. You need to be layered. You could have to be prepared. You have to be prepared for very hot and then very cold. So always layers is the key.
Yep.
Disney World, bring one of these.
Or 3, just to be on the safe side.
Yes.
And it is important to note one last thing before we close too. There have been recent announcement of the changes to DAS, the Disability Access Service at both parks. That service is available for those that have a disability such as autism and other things that may cause them, issues as they're in the ride queues and so on. That is changing in upcoming weeks. So again, if you are looking to book a trip, reach out to one of our fabulous travel advisors and they can help you navigate those changes as they come. But with that, again, thank you all so much for joining us on episode number 2. If there's anything coming up you'd like to know about or any content you'd like to see, don't hesitate to reach out to us. All of these lovely ladies can help you book your next magical vacation at one of the Disney parks or anything around the world to help you have a magical time. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next edition of the Travel Advisors Unlimited podcast. We'll see you.